What's something people don't know about New York City's architecture? I don't think people understand just how much building floor area New York City has. Did you know that New York City has enough building floor area to cover the entire state of Connecticut? That's right, folks. If you took every office, apartment, bodega, and pizza place in this city and laid them out flat, you could blanket an entire state. Now that's some serious urban sprawl. But hey, who needs nature when you have 8 million people and a deli on every corner, right? This concrete jungle we call New York has a history as rich and varied as a $10 bodega breakfast special. From its humble beginnings as a Dutch trading post to its current status as a global metropolis, New York City's architecture tells a story of ambition, innovation, and a healthy dose of what were they thinking. Over the next few sections, we'll take a whirlwind tour through the architectural epics of New York City, from those early Dutch settlers who probably thought a two-story house was a skyscraper, to the modern-day starchitects designing buildings that seem to defy gravity. We'll explore the iconic structures that define the city's skyline, uncover hidden architectural gems, and maybe even learn a thing or two about gargoyles. So buckle up, grab a slice of pizza, or a bagel, we don't judge, and get ready to explore the hilarious history of NYC architecture. Am I the only one that didn't know how fascinating New York City's architectural history is? Before we dive into the nitty-gritty of bricks, mortar, and really tall buildings, let's take a quick trip through time. New York City's architectural history can be broadly divided into a few key periods, each with its own distinct style and quirks. First up, we have the early days, when New Amsterdam was just a wee settlement trying to make it in the New World. Think cozy Dutch colonial houses with stepped gables and enough fireplaces to keep a small army of chimney sweeps employed. These homes were built with practicality in mind, using local materials and simple designs that reflected the settlers' European roots. Then came the 19th century, and things started to get really interesting. The Industrial Revolution hit, and suddenly everyone wanted a piece of the Big Apple. The city expanded rapidly, and with it, the need for more buildings and infrastructure. Buildings shot up faster than you could say skyscraper, and the race to the sky was on. Architects and builders competed to create the tallest, most impressive structures, forever changing the city's skyline. We'll talk about the Flatiron Building, a building so strangely shaped it inspired its own word. Spoiler, it's not pointy. This iconic structure, completed in 1902, became a symbol of New York's architectural innovation and creativity. The early 20th century ushered in the era of Art Deco, a style that screamed glamour, luxury, and a healthy dose of "look at me, I'm a skyscraper." This period saw the construction of some of the city's most famous buildings, characterized by bold geometric shapes, rich colors, and lavish ornamentation. The Chrysler Building, with its gleaming spire and intricate details, is a prime example of this jazzy architectural style. Completed in 1930, it remains one of the most recognizable and beloved skyscrapers in the world. After World War II, modernism took hold, bringing with it a whole new aesthetic. This movement emphasized simplicity, functionality, and the use of new materials and construction techniques. Gone were the ornate embellishments of the past, replaced by sleek lines, functional designs, and a whole lot of concrete. Think of it as the architectural equivalent of trading in your zoot suit for a power suit. This era produced some of the city's most iconic modernist buildings, which continue to define its skyline. And finally, we arrive at the present day, where architects are pushing the boundaries of design with innovative materials, sustainable technologies, and buildings that look like they belong in a science fiction movie. Today's architects are not only focused on aesthetics but also on creating structures that are environmentally friendly and energy efficient. We're talking about structures like the Hearst Tower with its diagrid facade and One World Trade Center, a soaring symbol of resilience and hope. These buildings represent the future of architecture, combining cutting-edge design with a commitment to sustainability and resilience. But enough with the teasers, let's get down to business. Join us as we explore the fascinating history of New York City's architecture, from its humble beginnings to its towering present. I bet you didn't know that New York City's architectural roots are deeply Dutch. New Amsterdam's humble beginnings. Picture this. It's the 17th century, and you're a Dutch settler who's just arrived in New Amsterdam. The air is crisp, the land is vast, and the opportunities seem endless. You've traded your wooden shoes for a pair of boots, ready to make your mark in this new world. You've quickly learned that beaver pelts are the hottest commodity this side of the Atlantic, a currency of sorts that can buy you almost anything. With your newfound wealth, you're ready to build yourself a home, a place to lay your head after a long day of trading and exploring. What do? Well, if you're anything like the early Dutch settlers, you build a house that's practical, sturdy, and about as exciting as a bowl of porridge. But practicality is key in this new, unpredictable land. Think low-slung, 1 or 2 stories high, with a steep roof and a gable end facing the street. These features aren't just for show, they serve a purpose. These houses were built to withstand the elements, not to win any beauty contests. The harsh winters and unpredictable weather demanded resilience. They were constructed from wood and brick, with a distinctive stepped gable design that's become synonymous with Dutch colonial architecture. This design wasn't just a stylistic choice, it was a practical solution to maximize space. These gables weren't just for decoration though, they were actually functional, providing extra space in the attic and allowing for a hoist system to lift goods up to the top floor. Imagine hauling up barrels of goods or even furniture, in case you needed to store your surplus of beaver pelts. These pelts were not just trade items, they were a symbol of your success and hard work. Inside, these houses were as cozy as a winter coat, with fireplaces in every room to keep out the chill and thick walls to muffle the sound of your neighbor's lute playing, because apparently lutes were a thing back then. The thick walls also provided insulation, keeping the warmth in and the cold out. While very few of these original Dutch colonial houses remain standing today, you can still find remnants of this early architectural style in neighborhoods like Lower Manhattan and Brooklyn Heights. These areas are like living museums, preserving the essence of a bygone era. So the next time you're strolling through the city, keep an eye out for those distinctive stepped gables. They are more than just architectural features, they are historical markers. They're a reminder of a time when New York City was just a humble trading post, and the tallest structure around was probably a windmill. These windmills were not just landmarks, they were vital to the community, grinding grain and pumping water. The skyline may have changed, but the spirit of those early settlers lives on in the city's architecture and culture. Am I the only one that didn't know about the incredible story behind New York City's skyscrapers? Section 4, Reaching for the Skies, the Rise of the Skyscraper. Fast forward a couple of centuries and New York City is bursting at the seams. The city, once a modest settlement, has transformed into a bustling metropolis, teeming with life and energy. The Industrial Revolution is in full swing, immigrants are pouring in from all corners of the globe, and the city is rapidly running out of space. The streets are crowded, the buildings are packed, and the demand for housing and office space is skyrocketing. What's a metropolis on the rise to do? Build up, of course. The only way to accommodate the growing population and the booming economy is to reach for the skies. Thus began the era of the skyscraper, a uniquely American invention that would forever change the face of cities around the world. These towering structures became symbols of progress, innovation, and the limitless potential of human ingenuity. And where else would this architectural revolution begin but in New York City, the land of ambition, innovation, and a healthy disregard for the laws of physics? At least that's what it felt like at the time. The city was a playground for architects and engineers, eager to push the boundaries of what was possible. One of the earliest examples of this new breed of building was the Flatiron Building, completed in 1902. It stood as a testament to the bold vision and daring spirit of its creators. This triangular-shaped marvel, wedged into a tight lot at the intersection of 5th Avenue, Broadway, and 23rd Street, was like nothing anyone had ever seen before. Its unique design challenged conventional architectural norms and captured the imagination of the public. It was so tall, so slender, and so utterly bizarre that people predicted it would topple over in the next strong wind. Skeptics doubted its stability, but the building stood firm, defying expectations. Of course, the Flatiron Building didn't fall down. It became an instant icon, a symbol of New York City's audacity and its unwavering belief in the power of progress, and also maybe a little bit of we'll figure it out later engineering. Its success paved the way for future skyscrapers, inspiring architects to dream bigger and build higher. But the Flatiron Building was just the beginning. It marked the dawn of a new era in urban architecture, one that would see the skyline of New York City transformed by a series of increasingly ambitious projects. As technology advanced and architects got bolder, skyscrapers grew taller, sleeker, and even more daring. The race to build the tallest building became a symbol of prestige and power, driving innovation in construction techniques and materials. The Woolworth Building, completed in 1913, soared to a then unthinkable 789 feet, earning it the nickname, the Cathedral of Commerce. Its Gothic-inspired design and impressive height made it a landmark of the city. The race to the sky was officially on, and New York City was leading the charge. Each new skyscraper was a testament to human ambition and the relentless pursuit of progress, shaping the city into the iconic skyline we recognize today. Am I the only one that didn't know how Art Deco transformed New York City? Section 5. Putting on the Ritz Art Deco and the city that never sleeps. The Roaring Twenties were in full swing, and New York City was the epicenter of it all. Jazz filled the air, flapper dresses swished on dance floors, and a new architectural style was taking the city by storm, Art Deco. Think of Art Deco as the architectural equivalent of a champagne tower, glamorous, exuberant, and a little bit over the top. It was all about sleek lines, geometric shapes, and lavish ornamentation that screamed wealth and sophistication. And no building embodied the spirit of Art Deco quite like the Chrysler Building. Completed in 1930, this shimmering skyscraper with its iconic crown and intricate details became an instant symbol of New York City's glamour and ambition. The building's spire, a masterpiece of engineering and design, was a closely guarded secret until the very last minute. Assembled in secret inside the building, it was then hoisted into place in a single, daring maneuver that left New Yorkers awestruck. But the Chrysler Building wasn't the only Art Deco masterpiece to grace the city's skyline. From the Empire State Building's majestic spire to Radio City Music Hall's grand interiors, Art Deco left its mark on every corner of New York City. Even the city's subway system got in on the act, with stations adorned with intricate tile work, geometric patterns, and sleek, modern fixtures. The Art Deco era was a time of optimism, innovation, and a whole lot of style. It was a time when New York City truly lived up to its nickname as the city that never sleeps, and its architecture reflected this energy and excitement. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Mind-Blowing Facts, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.